Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 10 starts now.
One state becomes the first to ban abortion pills. The domino effect that the bill's passage creates. What if your driver's license was on your phone? A proposed Illinois bill could make it a reality, but critics warn of privacy concerns. And Rockford runners laced up their shoes for a good cause. The festive race that benefits young adults with cancer. Good evening, I'm Taylor Castro. Thanks for joining us tonight. Wyoming is the first state to outlaw the use of medication for abortions. Republican Governor Mark Gordon signed the bill into law last night. A separate measure restricting abortion also became law without his signature. Medication abortion is already outlawed in states that have total bans since it already prohibits all forms of abortion. Wyoming's ban on abortion pills would take effect in July, pending any legal action that could potentially delay that. A Memphis police lieutenant involved in the Tyree Nichols beating retires just a day before a hearing to fire him. Dwayne Smith was a 25-year veteran with the Memphis Police Department. Documents show Smith ignored Nichols when he said he couldn't breathe and failed to call for medical help. Smith also wasn't wearing his body camera during the beating. Nichols died a few days later. 6 other Memphis police officers were fired following the incident. 5 are facing criminal charges. Smith has not been charged in the case. New genetic data links the origins of COVID-19 to raccoon dogs being sold at a market in Wuhan, China. The New York Times reports researchers swabbed areas of the market in January 2020, right after authorities shut it down. They discovered large amounts of genetic material that matched the raccoon dog in places where COVID-19 was also found. Raccoon dogs are related to foxes and can transmit the coronavirus. The evidence adds to the theory the virus spread from a wild animal to humans. Your smartphone could carry your Illinois driver's license in the future if a new proposal makes it into law. A new bill in Springfield would give people the option to carry a digital driver's license. State Representative Cam Buckner is sponsoring the House bill. The digital driver's license would be an encrypted, scannable card on your phone or device. The Secretary of State supports the idea. Buckner says at least a dozen states have already tested or launched the digital versions of driver's licenses.
Embrace this idea of making sure that Illinois can come once again into the 21st century, have ability to use the technological tools at our disposal to make things easier.
The digital thing, I'm not sure about that. In case I lose my phone or anything like that, I just rather have that ID in hand.
This idea is still in the very early stages. Officials acknowledge addressing the privacy concerns is a top step in the process. It's St. Patrick's Day weekend, and some runners laced up their sneakers to celebrate with a 5K. Despite the cold weather, over 600 runners were at the annual Shamrock Beer Run. That's 200 more runners than last year. Our Nicole Delgado tells us how they're making dreams come true for sick young adults across the country.
Go! It's just such a treat to see all these people out here supporting these young adults fighting cancer and their families.
Nick's Wish recipient Joe Thompson came all the way from Huntsville, Alabama to help celebrate St. Patrick's Day weekend at the 7th annual Shamrock 5K Beer Run. Nick's Wish is for young adults ages 18 to 24 years old who are fighting cancer across the nation.
Making it possible to do what we do, right? I mean, that's how you make the magic happen.
Joe was diagnosed last year with DIPG, a form of brain cancer. His wish is to go to the Kentucky Derby in May. Joe tells me he is happy to see and meet some of the people that made his wish possible.
Just to have that sense of relief, if only for a moment, to feel like you're getting away from cancer.
Founder of the Nicholas Ritchell Foundation, Kelly Ritchell Bailey, says they have made over 300 precious moments of joy nationwide.
That's what we want for our cancer patients. When we take them on a wish, we want them to be silly, we want them to be happy, we want them to have a good time. So, you know what, this is fantastic. Just what it means to get a Nick's Wish is right here, right now. Create some fun memories with people you love.
Right in your face.
Runners not only run for a good cause, but get a medal and a St. Patrick's Day party. There's a silent auction, music, games, a 50-foot shillelagh stick, and of course, beer to warm up.
We will get educated on what we have going on for next wish coming up.
Joe tells me he hopes he can help others get their wish too.
I think it's really important so we can get the funding we need to grant wishes, and the wishes, what we do with that, it's able to help these young kids, but not only the young adults like me, it's able to help their families.
Reporting in Loves Park for your home team, I'm Nikel Delgado.
Rockford's history was in the spotlight this morning thanks to a social media group. The Facebook group called Rockford Made It partnered with Midway Village Museum for an event that shares the history of the city's breweries and bottlers. Artifacts from the collections department of the museum were on display. The purpose of the Rockford Made It group is to show people the city's past and to give them a sense of pride. A group admin says he wants the community to understand that things made in Rockford have changed the world.
It's kind of rewarding because you see that people care about the history of our town, and that's kind of our goal, is to create pride in our city and to understand our past better, to know who we were and what a great city we've been.
Patton says he looks forward to seeing what Rockford's younger generations create that make a difference. Speaking of younger generations, congratulations are in order for the Auburn Knights Scholastic Bowl team. They are once again state champions. Auburn defeated Barrington 430-390 in the 2A championship match Saturday afternoon down in Normal. The Knights also defeated Dunlap, Illinois Math and Science Academy of Aurora, and Hinsdale Central. Auburn has an impressive streak of finishing in the Final Four at state for the past 20 years. They came in first in 2008 and 2015. Developing tonight, former President Trump claims in a post on his social media platform that he will be arrested Tuesday in connection with the Manhattan District Attorney's criminal investigation. A Trump spokesperson later appeared to walk back Trump's claims. Rena Roy has the latest.
A new social media post from former President Trump Saturday morning claiming on his social media platform that he will be arrested Tuesday in relation to the Manhattan DA's investigation into hush money payments made to porn star Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election. Trump calling on his supporters to protest. ABC News has not verified the claims, and the Manhattan DA providing no comment. Shortly after his post, a Trump spokesperson appearing to walk back Trump's comments in a statement saying in part that there is no notification the DA has decided to take his witch hunt to the next level, adding President Trump is rightfully highlighting his innocence and the weaponization of our injustice system. Earlier this week, Daniels meeting with Manhattan prosecutors and former Trump attorney Michael Cohen testifying before a grand jury for about 5 hours about that hush money payment. He wrote the $130,000 check a month before the 2016 election, which experts say could violate campaign finance laws. Cohen speaking with ABC after giving that testimony.
I was working for a man who ultimately became president of the United States. And yes, there were things that we did that were wrong. For example, the hush money payment. But I never expected that democracy would be on the line as a direct result of the former president.
It's not clear whether Daniels would be called to testify, but she says she's in a fight for truth and justice. Cohen would be a star witness for the prosecution if this goes to trial. Trump's attorney claiming Trump paid off the porn star to protect his family.
He made this with personal funds to prevent something coming out false but embarrassing to himself, his family, his young son.
A Trump spokesperson says he'll continue with his presidential campaign, saying Trump will be in Texas next weekend for a rally. Trump has said he will not drop out of the race, even if he's indicted. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Meanwhile, the International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant for Russian President Vladimir Putin for war crimes in Ukraine. It's the first time the global court has issued a warrant against one of the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. The ICC says Putin is personally responsible for the abductions of children from Ukraine, taken from their homes to re-education centers. A trial is unlikely since Russia does not recognize the court's jurisdiction or extradite its nationals. The U.S. does not recognize the jurisdiction of the global court either, But President Biden said the ICC's decision is justified.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Well, temperatures for the last couple of days have been a lot colder than what we would normally expect for this time of year. And that does not just go for us here locally, but many areas across the country saw temperatures for the high temperature today a lot lower than what they would normally see for this time of year, including across the southeast where there are actually some freeze warnings and freeze watches in effect. Locally, temperatures at the moment are in the 20s for a lot of us, and that's because of that strong northwesterly flow that we have been under for the last couple of days, helping to bring that colder air mass in and keeping our wind chills down in the single digits for most of the day today. We did get a little bit of the snow showers also that worked their way through earlier into the day today as well. But if we look further up to the north, that clearing is already working its way in, and that's going to help to drop our temperatures a little bit quicker into the night tonight. Earlier this afternoon, I already mentioned many of us were stuck in the 20s. Our high temperatures for the afternoon made their way into the low and mid 20s for a lot of us, including 25 degrees in Rockford, which is actually colder than our normal low temperature for this time of year. So a high temperature in the 20s is much more like January than it is March. Temperatures at the moment are in the 20s, and notice clear skies across the board. Those clear skies are going to help drop those temperatures a little bit quicker. Already some spots down in the teens. The wind chills, so then we factor those in. It feels a lot colder than that even, but this still a lot better than where we were just this time yesterday, as many of our wind chills were down near zero at this time just 24 hours ago. Some spots still in the double digits above zero for those wind chills at the moment. Those winds, because of that, have calmed down quite a bit as we got later into the day today. Many of those winds were actually close to 20, even 25 miles per hour earlier over the last couple of days, have calmed down to around 10 miles per hour for most of us here this evening. We are getting those clear skies as we see on our SkyTrack camera overlooking Beloit, Wisconsin, and those clear skies will help to drop our temperatures a little bit quicker, as I mentioned. We're going to fall all the way back down into the teens, but not quite as cold as where we were yesterday. 15 degrees for that overnight low. Winds a lot calmer, and already seeing that in place, helping those wind chills not to feel quite as bad, as we're not going to see those sub-zero wind chills like we saw earlier this morning, but many of those wind chills will fall down into the single digits and remain there for most of the overnight hours before we very quickly start to warm up as the sun comes out tomorrow. Temperatures and wind chills continuing to warm into the morning and afternoon tomorrow. Those temperatures do reach the upper 30s and a couple spots even close to 40 degrees for the afternoon. A very cold start, but we rebound pretty quickly with southwest flow and a lot of sunshine helping to keep us a little bit on the warmer side. We go to Futurecast now, and we see some of that clearing already working its way in, bringing the sunshine out for tomorrow. Temperatures into the upper 30s. We get a little bit more cloud cover with southwest flow over the next couple of nights, and then we do have a chance for a very slight sprinkle as we get into Monday, with higher chances for rain coming as we get Tuesday into Tuesday night into the middle of the week. This is a system that we'll have to keep an eye on for the potential for some soaking rainfall. Rain chances coming in Tuesday night into the middle of the week. And then, however, temperatures will be a little bit on the warmer side with that. So we are still in the upper 30s and 40s, a lot more sunshine on Sunday. The first day of spring feels a lot closer to normal in the upper 40s. And then, Taylor, we're holding on to the 50s for most of next week.
Now sports with Reagan Holgate.
The Chicago Bears have been one of the most active teams so far this offseason through the first wave of free agency. So far, GM Ryan Poles has addressed concerns at linebacker, defensive line, wide receiver, and running back. But he's far from done. Now in the coming weeks, he'll be able to address depth concerns through the second and third wave of free agency, something he's stressed a lot already this season. But they've already signed some immediate impact players, and they are ready for the opportunity to play in Chicago.
Well, one thing I do know is that they're playing one technique with a cock nose, and that's how I was introduced to the NFL. So I played for 4 years at the Bengals. So it's something I know that I can do, and I see myself fitting pretty well.
You know, it was great for me. I was able to kind of reinsert myself and, kind of open some eyes to, let people see, what I bring to the table and, how good I could truly be. Just giving those opportunities. So I just want to build on that and continue to grow.
The madness continues as the upsets keep rolling in. 2-1 seeds already knocked out. Here's a look at one we said goodbye to today. Arkansas and Kansas battling it out in Des Moines. To the second half, Devontae Davis drives in and gets a tough one to fall. Arkansas trails by 6. Now it's Jordan Walsh for the Razorbacks. He buries the 3 to give Arkansas the lead. Later in the second half, Ricky Council knocks down the turnaround jumper, and the game is all tied at 65. Under a minute left, Council misses the jumper, but Kamani Johnson is there for the putback. Arkansas pulls off the upset, 72-71, and Eric Musselman pulls off his shirt to celebrate with the Razorback fans. What a game! And we've been quite lucky this March, folks. Arkansas knocks off top seed Kansas. Eric Musselman said this group of guys can beat any team, and they obviously just did that. A thriller in Des Moines. Princeton handles Missouri 78-63, and the 15 seed is on their way to the Sweet 16. The Ice Hogs embarked on a revenge tour tonight, hosting the Eagles. A win would really help ignite a playoff push. The Hogs lost to the Eagles last night. First period, the Ice Hogs trailed 1-0. Zach Jordan evened the score, though. The big forward gets his first goal as an Ice Hog. Shamrock Hammy was pretty happy about that one. Into the second period now, Luke Philp put the Ice Hogs back in front. He scored his 21st goal of the season on a deflection. That made it 2-1. The Eagles would later tie it, and after a scoreless third period, this one's going to overtime. Of course, Jakob Galvis centers it here, and David Gust puts it in with the backhander, his 25th goal of the season. And for the second time in 4 nights, the Ice Hogs get an overtime win. Hey, look at those guys. We know them. They defeated the Eagles 3-2. Hononegah graduate and University of Iowa wrestler Anthony Cassiope finished 4th today at the NCAA Championships in the 285-pound division. That earns him All-American status for the 4th straight year. Cassiope can make it 5 next year. He has already told us he'll return to Iowa for an extra COVID-19 year. That's all for sports. We'll be right back.